that's a tremendous looking trophy.
Hello, welcome to Platinum Explosion, number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's Dylan Blight, and joining me, as always, Ashley Hobley.
Hey, Dylan, excited to be here for an exciting Gamescom week.
That's right. What will PlayStation do? Fuck all.
Last of Us Part 2 for PS5.
Meh. I'll take it, I guess.
But they'll leak it beforehand and then...
Fuck. Imagine if that happened. What have they got? Well, no, they're doing pretty good so far. We're like... How long till 4 a.m.? So we're at 18 hours as of recording. So they're doing pretty good, I feel. Like if that's
they're going to screw the pooch. But yeah.
Screw the pooch. But I mean, by the time you're listening to this...
Probably Death Stranding will be announced, yeah. Or Death Stranding 2 will get a new trailer.
Well, the weird thing about... I still think the weird thing about that is it's officially not even called Death Stranding 2 yet. So if
it confirms the name.
If Hideo Kojima comes out and just says, hey, you know how we've been saying this game's called DS2? Death Stranding 2, baby. Does that count as a reveal? Or?
Sure. You know, anything he does is a reveal, really. Because you never know what he's going to do.
Well, there'll probably be some crazy trailer, and then they're like, comes up DS2, separates to say Death Stranding. Oh.
Yeah.
So, you'll know by
do
now.
A Metal Gear collection right after.
That'd be really weird. Awkward timing. But yeah, I mean, but this drops 6 a.m. Wednesday. Gamescom's 4 a.m. Wednesday. So it would have just maybe finished by the time this drops if you're listening straight away at 6 a.m. Sort of how that's working out. So we'll see. I want to talk about Baldurs Gate quickly on here because it's the biggest upcoming PlayStation release. I mean, it kind of is, right? I mean, like near future coming out, you know, Xbox, everyone out here getting hyped about Starfield, you know, they've handed out codes to a bunch of influencers who
nobody.
They don't understand how embargoes work, but
yeah.
No, not enough codes apparently in this region in America.
Just hand them out like Tic Tacs.
Apparently they are. I mean, I was listening to Jeff Grubb's podcast the other day, and he was like, "Oh, I forgot to ask one." And the rep was like, "Oh, we got heaps. Yeah, here. Do you want any more?" Like, so, yeah.
What can we learn from that?
I have no idea. I know what we can learn is that currently the amount of stuff I'm seeing on Twitter from that game is does mean that I'm pretty sure that anyone signing these NDAs, influencers and stuff,
are not concerned.
They don't read that shit. They don't give a fuck. They don't think there's any repercussions to their actions. But nonetheless,
apparently
Starfield.
They just
that's
give
the thing.
A fake name, and apparently they can just get code.
Well, apparently, yeah. So, but we're going to get Baldur's Gate 3. So my question was going to be this. If you could, would you, because you can, the game does have cross save, so you can transfer your save across. I looked up, I googled it, see how hard it was, see if someone had an article. Gamerant had an article. It's very straightforward. You go into settings, you hook up your account, Larian account, and then you log in on the game elsewhere. If you could, would you want to?
I don't think so. I think
no? Prefer PC.
Yeah, I have not used a controller to play it yet, so you know, maybe that would change things. But I can't imagine the radial wheels would be better than the mouse and keyboard. You know what I mean?
Was a very
you played it with a bit of keyboard. You played it a little bit with the controller, right?
No. I was watching video of people who plugged in a controller, and it just looks like a very different game.
Yeah,
you know? I saw people playing it in, zooming all the way in, basically playing it as a third-person action game. Which is wild.
That would be wild.
Yeah. Very, very different.
You gotta wait for everybody to make it.
Yeah. So you're just like standing there.
It's like the slowest third-person action game ever.
Yeah. And then you've got all the, instead of all the spells and stuff being on the grid, it's the wheel of options. And I mean, it works apparently. Like from what I've seen, people are like, no, this game is pretty well.
It doesn't sound like the optimal way to do it, you know. I want to inspect, I want to check like the stats and stuff, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Can't really do it with controller.
I'm gonna put a prediction down that this game sells like absolute hotcakes on PlayStation.
It's got so much hype. Obviously, the actual reviews have started to come in.
Yeah, it's like 97, 98% on Metacritic or something, I think.
Yeah. Let's have a look. OpenCritic sitting at 96.
There you go. 96.
So
Dropped a
it
little.
and Legend of Zelda tied. Best games of the year.
True. Yeah, I mean, PlayStation never puts out like pre-order numbers or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if this, following the reviews and stuff, has got mass stuff, and I'm going to be really interested to see how well it does and how much this dropping on PlayStation, and like, especially if PlayStation wants to play dirty and do a bunch of promos and tweets and stuff about the game on PlayStation to try and sort of counteract the Starfield hype on Xbox, like, which, people may be like, well, that sounds dirty. Nah, that's just the, competition, baby.
It's smart.
Yeah, get in business. They're both RPGs, different kinds of RPGs, but,
Yeah.
And yes, one of them is coming to Xbox eventually. Or maybe not. No. Because by the sounds of it, the only way it's coming to Xbox at this stage is, if Xbox lets them drop their X Series S.
Yeah. Which is
that's
crazy.
The problem.
Or they have to have a pared down version where you can't do local co-op or something like that.
No. Because Xbox is like, well, we got these rules. All our games have to be playable. Xbox, they dug their own hole. They were like, nothing will change. Xbox Series S, X, slightly more powerful, but all the games will be the same.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of it's a double-edged sword, Give people a cheaper option.
It's really double-edged
sword. And being powerful.
I mean, yeah, I would agree. Like, as much as the idea of playing it on PlayStation sounds cool and everything, it's definitely more of a PC game. However, if you're listening to this and you only have a PlayStation, then by all means, obviously, it's play it. It's one of the best talked about games of the year.
Although, I've heard you can plug in a keyboard and mouse to your PlayStation.
True, you can.
That's a thing.
So, yeah.
So if you got like a one with a dongle or something, just plug them in.
Someone should. I assume someone's going to test that straight away and find out how that looks and works. It'll revert it back to the default layout if you plug in a PC. Whereas if you plug in a controller to a PC, it switches it to the version. So that's fine. The only thing I'm going to hold out is
keyboards and mouses just for this game.
The only thing I'm going to be interested in is, maybe it's a year down the road, maybe it's 2 years down the road, but when I'm finally all done and dusted and with this game on PC and everything, maybe there's, can I auto pop all trophies? Does this game one time down a year from now,
does the save
automatically really cheap, or it goes on PlayStation Plus 2 years from now? I don't know. Can I just automatically transfer across my save, and will it auto pop everything that I should have in that save file? That's the key question I need to know.
We'll find out in 2 weeks' time.
Find out in 2 weeks' time. But it's an important question, because if it doesn't auto pop trophies,
does that work for a lot of cross save games?
I'm trying to think of an example. I don't know. I can't even think of an example.
Yeah, I don't imagine it would be possible.
It is possible. How's it any different than going from PS4 to a Switch or something?
I just feel like the coding's like from a PS. Well, have you had a Switch game pop all the trophies?
No, I can't think of any example.
See, the coding for like a PS4 game would not be that much different to the trophy coding for a PS5 game, I'd imagine.
I just want to know, but does it not have because the save file would have if the trophies are similar to that of the Steam achievements, you know what I mean? Then surely it would save it as part of the. I'm trying to find an example, but all the fucking I googled auto pop, and they're all like PlayStation to. I can't even think of a. Hold on, sorry. I mean, Dauntless. It says yes. If you come from PC, you're playing PC. Dauntless. It said this website says yes. So, no, too hard to find too many instances. Anyway, I found one example that said yes. I'll take it. I'll take that to the bank. All right, let's talk about Quantum Error. So this is a game we were talking about. Well, I was bringing up on the show in the lead up to the PS5 release, because at the time it was technically the first official PS5 game ever talked about it, with gameplay and everything that was shown. It's this game in which it's you play as a fire engine. No, sorry, not a fire engine, a fireman. That's a very different game. You play as a fireman, and then like weird, spooky, supernatural shit happens when they go investigate something. Now, all the old trailers that talked about a couple of years ago, I googled I searched the tag of Quantum Error, and there was like 2 or 3 episodes of Platinum Explosion where I've used the tag Quantum Error from several years ago. The original trailers and stuff made it seem a lot more like Doom 3-ish. Like, you go in a facility, weird shit starts happening. Oh, there's monsters. You've got guns, shoot them. It's not like super scary. It's just like there's monsters and you've got a gun. Doom 3, not like tense horror or anything. This one, the absolute wildest fucking trailer, considering I haven't seen this game for so long, and now it's like there's a secret organization and there's like sci-fi shit, and there may be like time travel, and there's like a big boss of the company who's like spends a part of the trailer monologuing about shit. It is insane. I both think it looks amazing and like I'm so like, is this going to be really bad at the same time? I have no idea, but all props, because the developer team Kill Media is made up of just 4 people, 4 brothers. So I mean, that kind of explains how this has been taken so long to come out. But absolutely wild looking game. Made in Unreal Engine as well, so that was it always looked good back in that, especially like the fire effects and everything like that. That was the thing in the lead up. They dropped a gameplay video too that goes for 16 minutes. They show the first half of it, or first little bit, you can switch between third person and first person. So yeah, I am keen to see more, because it is a horror game that has definitely looks like influences of Doom 3 and then like Dead Space or something, but the story just looks absolutely insane to me. But that has finally got a release date amongst all this. November 3rd is when it'll come out. So years and years and years and years and years later. 2022, Gamescom 2022 was when it was revealed. So took a while, but we got there. All right, let's talk about these 2 recent remaster re-release things. So you've got Metal Gear Solid collection thing, and then you got the Red Dead remaster thing that just dropped. And by all accounts, I've seen they just both look like shit to me. Like, they just look like overpriced collections, I guess, maybe, depending on how you feel. But so firstly, Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 will be just 720p on PS5, PS4 rights, same barcode over at Push Square. Right, what's the resolution you associate with PS5 and PS4 games? On the latter, 1080p has been generally the standard, pushing as high as 4K in the PS4 Pro, and the format has generally targeted 2160p where possible, with a few noteworthy examples using checkerboarded or reconstruction techniques to boost the final image quality. You'd expect the upcoming Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 to be running at a rock-solid 60 frames per second in full 4K then, wouldn't you? This is, after all, a compilation of PS1 games and 2 PS2 titles. Well, according to Nintendo Life, the collection will actually be targeting 720p because the bundle is based on the PS3's ancient Metal Gear Solid HD collection. In fact, the site also notes that in the menus in the current build carry a 2012 copyright notification, effectively confirming they're based on Bluepoint's decades-old remasters. Considering Konami's asking good money for this compilation, this honestly cuts a little deep. I would agree. I mean, I think that they've tried to at least bundle it up with some, like, when they announced it and they showed all the behind the scenes stuff that's in, and artwork and all this other, like, 2 different versions of the same game from NES and Super NES or whatever it is of the original Metal Gear and whatever else. Like, they've chucked everything into this. It's like, it's a fully packed, but the core stuff.
They blinded us with extras.
Pretty much.
We didn't pay attention to the actual game. And all these fancy features. Cruise control.
I mean, it did. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. That's sort of how it seems. But yeah, I definitely feel like if it is literally just the PS3 collection, which was then, I believe, also. Oh, actually, no, it wasn't. I can't remember if they brought that to PS4 as well. I can't remember. Maybe not. But that PS3 collection of the games, if that's all it is, that's fine to a degree. But like, just don't fluff it up and like charge double the amount for that. Is my only thing for that. And then pair this with the Red Dead Redemption thing. So Red Dead Redemption port over at PlayStation Lifestyle, right? The Red Dead Redemption PS4 port was controversial from the outset for a few reasons, which mainly revolved around its high $49.99 USD price. Rockstar Games has similarly not scunged those fears. Assuaged. There's no real word. Let me Google this.
Rockstar has similarly not assuaged their fears after footage of the game has come out.
I've never seen this word used before. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to put assuage. Yeah. Making an unpleasant feeling.
Come on,
fair enough. So I'm just going to own up. I've never seen that word in my life.
Yeah. Read a thesaurus.
Just at night. There's a footage of this game. It's technical analysts have pointed out the relative lack of upgrades on PS4, PS4 Pro, and PS5. The technical experts at Digital Foundry broke down the PS4 version. It gives players the option to use FSR2 and use upscaling tech for anti-aliasing, but also has an FXAA, fast approximate anti-aliasing option, which Outlet also knows was inferior. It runs at 84K and 30 frames per second on PS4 Pro and PS5. The base PS4 runs the game at 1080p at 30 frames per second. The PS5 port does not bump the frame rate up to 60 frames per second when played in backwards compatibility mode like some other PS4 games. The long list of enhanced PS4 games include Horizon Zero Dawn, Last of Us Part 2, Assassin's Creed Origins, 2018's God of War, 2016's Ratchet & Clank, and Destroy All Humans remake, just to name a few. We've reached out to Rockstar and asked if a patch to enable 60 frames per second on PS5 is in the works, and we'll update the story if we get an actual answer. And then they say, this is stuff I don't mind so much. They're like the actual visuals in Red Dead Redemption PS4 port haven't been updated much. Textures are essentially untouched according to Digital Foundry, blah, 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 blah. That, like, I think both of these are just poor money grab. By the sounds of it, again, I haven't played either, so I'm going to, put the asterisks on. I haven't played either. I don't care to play either, really, at this stage. But I do think, I'm like, if you're just going to release, you want to re-release Red Dead Redemption so more people have access to it now on PlayStation, sure. It was only ever on Xbox. Cool. Bring it across. Charge the appropriate amount of money. And I would say if you're going to go for one upgrade, if you're not going to change the game, if you're not going to go in and like update all the textures, because that's a lot of fucking work, then I would say the one thing I would ask for, and most people would ask for, make it run at 60 frames per second. I feel like that's fucking hell. And then the Metal Gear thing, I'm like, really? It's just the collection and there's a 2012 copyright? Oh no. How do you feel about either of these?
Yeah, they're clearly cash grabs, but they wouldn't be cash grabs if people didn't want to buy them for that price. So can't fault them for doing it. I don't know. They're giving them the option to play it. If you weren't able to play it previously or don't still have your previous hardware. So, it's on you.
I was like, these fucking money grubbing, you're like, you know what? Fuck the people buying these games.
You can not buy it. I mean, I don't know what the problem is. If it's a bad product, just don't buy it. And then they'll learn, but then they put it out and all these people buy the game, So are they really money hungry or are they just fulfilling a demand that people have? We think we're in the right, but the people keep buying it, So
no, I feel like the Red Dead thing is a complete all these rumors for ages. Red Dead Redemption remake. Everyone kept hearing whispers of it. My God, it must be real.
Again, they put out that GTA 3 collection, which was awful. Why were your expectations?
I saw the other day they finally fixed it. It took about 8 months.
What, the donut is actually a circle now?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I know. It's fucking. I just don't know. I'm like, yeah, cool. All right, choose not to play. I'm like, who the fuck is buying these things really? When you've got so many other games I don't get it.
So many options. You want to go back and play a game from decades ago?
Yeah. Who's sitting there like, I want to play Red Dead Redemption? That's just your favorite game of all time, I guess.
Yeah.
Shit,
in which case, I guess buy an Xbox. If you're that desperate, or boot up your PS3.
It was on PS3.
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
I definitely played it on my PS3. So.
Oh yeah, what's that? Don't know. I'm saying. I was trying to think why you couldn't play it on PS4. It's because we didn't have backward compatibility.
Yeah, that's why. Remember that?
Remember that old chestnut? That's the reason why.
You know what? The reason why they got barely any PS3 games on PlayStation Plus?
Yeah.
The backwards compatibility.
There we go. That's the answer. We all laugh now. Let's talk last story. Let's talk PlayStation Productions news. Let's get into this stupid Jak and Daxter thing. VG247 writes, Jak and Daxter film adaptation might have lined up the two most predictable actors for its lead roles. They write, it's been claimed that Marvel actors Tom Holland and Chris Pratt will portray Jak and Daxter respectively in a film adaptation. This comes from film industry leaker My Time to Shine Hello, who has previously accurately reported on stories to do with Marvel movies. Holland is reportedly slated to play Jak, whereas Pratt is eyed to voice Daxter, with the film supposedly being a live-action adaptation rather than an animated one. Ruben Fleischer, director of Uncharted movie, which also starred Holland, is reportedly attached to the director project, making this his second PlayStation adaptation, if reports are believed. Fleischer has reportedly outright said that his next project is a live-action Jak and Daxter film, while promoting his, at the time, current film Uncharted. Holland himself even said that he'd like to star in a Jak and Daxter movie. So again, if reports are accurate, the two clearly had a conversation about the project. If Holland and Pratt do star in a Jak and Daxter film, it'll also be the second video game-related project either of them would appear in, with Holland playing Nathan Drake in last year's Uncharted and Pratt playing this year's very successful Super Mario Bros. Movie. This sounds terrible, right?
This sounds like they misheard like what they talked about when they were doing promotion for Uncharted, saying they would like to do this, and then someone's just taken it as gospel. Like, oh my god, no one noticed this in the interview. They said they're doing it. Let's make it a news story. Also, we already have Tom Holland and Chris Pratt together in At Home. Check out Onward on Disney Plus.
Yeah, the only place you can watch it.
Yeah. No, I believe it's on Blu-ray.
It's on Blu-ray, but you got to find one now.
That's true.
I can't wait for this.
Ship it internationally, yeah.
Hey, Jak, we're going on an adventure to the precursor legacy.
It's me, Daxter.
It's me, Daxter. All the thing is, Jak doesn't talk in the first game.
I mean, that would be impressive performance.
Have you played Have you played these games?
No, I've not. No. I played like a demo.
Yeah, okay. So the first game is set like on a basically like tropical island. Jak and Daxter are friends, and Daxter is a real person at the start of the game. And then they sneak across this island where they got told not to go because it's dangerous. And like the bad guys are over there doing bad guy shit. And Daxter accidentally falls into this like pot of, whatever goo stuff. And then he turns into whatever creature he's supposed to be. I can't remember if it's based on a fucking weasel or something. Anyway, he turns into that. And then the game is just trying to go around and like save the day. Now at the end of the game, the grandfather dude or whatever it is, like the old professor dude who's tinkering away doing things, he invents a machine and it basically like whips you away to an alternate dimension. And that's where Jak 2 takes place in now like a cyberpunky type city and stuff. And then Jak gets infused with this like bad eco stuff, and that's why he like has a emo side and like turns into more of like a proper teenager. And then that game gives him guns. So the first game, very like straight platforming, kid friendly sort of thing. You know, you're just like spinning characters. You're like, you know, it's all fun and games. Collect the orbs, do the thing. Second game, they're like, here, mate, have a shotgun. It's like you drive cars now too. It's wild. Like, and then Jak 3, they're like, we're Mad Max now. You're in the desert. Shit's fucked. Like it's a weird like string of video games. I mean, I played the fuck out of all three, even Jak X, and you got the spin-off PSP game, the Daxter game. Like I love all the games. I think the lore and the story and the characters, I have a lot of like I can think about like the like as like I've played these games for years and I just whipped off the top of my head a really bad synopsis for you, right? So like I like all these games. I would like to see a good movie done. I'd prefer to have seen it done animated. This sounds terrible. Is what? Yeah. I can't get behind this. And why? Why have him star in 2 PlayStation properties? Is my other question.
No, I think this story is fake. Fake news, as they say. There's no way. No way.
So are you weighing that he's doing it or that they're making a Jak and Daxter film?
I would say my gut says both.
They just made a Twisted Metal TV show, I'd like to clarify. If you're like, who cares about Jak and Daxter? They just made a Twisted Metal TV series.
It just seems like too fast of a turnaround. And why are they announcing this news in the middle of a strike? You know what I mean?
Well, they're not announcing news. They're leaking the news. Someone leaked the news. So, you know, it's not an announcement if someone leaks it.
I guess.
And if you leak it to the leaker...
See, the other thing is Ruben Fleischer is apparently is meant to direct Now You See Me 3 next. So they'll cancel that now. It's been too long. Strike's gone on for too long. They're like cancelling that movie. I don't know. Yeah, my gut says this is all fake.
Right.
Fake
I
rumors.
hope so.
You know?
I hope so. Because it sounds terrible. So, anyway, let us know.
I know it's not PlayStation related, but, you know, we're pouring out for retiring Chris Martinet, who was so upset about Chris Pratt playing Mario that he quit.
I know.
I know that's just jokes we never run into today, but...
It does sound like that's what happened.
It's like, man...
He was in everything, and the one time a Mario thing comes out where he doesn't get a voice.
He saw his residual check for the Mario movie, and then he saw a copy of Chris Pratt's, and he's like, "No." $1 billion.
He saw the trailer, is all he saw. I'm going to adventure in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
He was like, I'm out. No, I'm done, dude. I'm done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's know your thoughts on anything we've talked about this week. Mario, Jak and Daxter, whatever else. Z-chat us, explosionnetwork.com/Twitter takes you to our X page. You can join our Discord by heading to explosionnetwork.com/Discord. And if you like this episode and the website explosionnetwork.com, head on over to explosionnetwork.com/support to donate to our Ko-fi page, as little as $1 can help out. Until next week, remember, every trophy counts.